למנצח לבני קורח מזמור. כל העמים תיקוך, הריעו לאלוהים בקול רינה, כי אדוני עליון נורא, מלך גדול על כל הארץ. יד ברמים תחתנו ולאומים תחת רגלינו. יבחר לנו את נחלתנו, את גאון יעקב אשר אהב סלה. אללה אלוהים Adonai בקול שופר זמרו, אלוהים זמרו, למלכנו זמרו. זמרו למלכנו זמרו. בקול שופר זמרו, אלוהים זמרו, זמרו למלכנו זמרו, 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 אלוהים כי מלך כל הארץ אלוהים, זמרו מזכיר, מלך אלוהים על גויים, אלוהים ישב על כיסא קודשו, נדיבי עמים נאספו, עם אלוהי אברהם. כי לאלוהים מגיני ארץ מאוד נעלה. So the mitzvah of the shofar is actually not to blow it. The mitzvah of the shofar is not to blow it, it's to hear it. And when we say a blessing over the shofar, we don't say a blessing litkoa b'shofar, to blow the shofar. We say a blessing lishmo kol shofar, to hear the shofar. So really, it's you guys who are doing the mitzvah, and I'm standing here just trying to facilitate it. And so the practice we have to ask every year as we enter this practice is, what are we listening for? What are we trying to hear? The sound's going to be there, but what are we trying to hear in it? And there are all kinds of things you can hear. I remember my, that Rosh Hashanah is my father's yahrzeit, and that one of the things he really loved was shofar blowing. It was actually the only kind of like leadership Jewish thing he liked doing was blowing shofar. And there were like 3 or 4 people in the minyan who used to share blowing shofar between them. And one year there was somebody who was really struggling with it. Like they were up there, they were blowing shofar, and each time, there was 3, 4, 5 attempts, something came out. It's actually interesting, if you look in the literature, like about 80% of the stories about shofar are all about failures. So in the beginning I thought, whatever, another arena for male performance anxiety, But actually, so my dad, in this story, my dad actually helped change my perspective about it. So there was this guy who was really, really struggling. And, every sound from the shofar was a real struggle. And so in one of the breaks between the sequences, somebody comes up to my dad and says, maybe you should go take his place. People are really losing patience. Go do it. And my dad said, nah. You got it all wrong. You aren't hearing the right thing. Look how every time he picks up the shofar, everybody in the congregation is with him. Says, please, God, let it come through once now. Says, that's the right place we should be for this. That's the thing we're listening to for. So I want to say there are 3 things you can listen for in the shofar. The first has to do, I saw with great excitement yesterday, we sang Yitnu Lecha Keter Melucha. We will all, bring a crown to God, and crowning God and making God a king is such a big part of Rosh Hashanah. Part of why in times where people had kings, why did you have a king? A king was useful to hold together the concept of something larger, that there's a whole kingdom, that everybody comes together in this. Because otherwise, it's me and my village, you and your village, right? There's what conceptually allows us to bring this together, right? So kings used to be called by the name of their country, right? So you referred to France, to England, right? You referred to the king that way. And it allows sort of say, oh, there is power, grandeur, majesty, right? There's something there, there's something real. And our king is no human king and is no partial kingdom, but it's the universe we live in. And it's so hard to actually think of the universe as, oh, it's one thing. But we have to, because otherwise we won't survive, and otherwise we're going to destroy the planet that we live in. Right? That's science. It's not mythology. It's not religion. It's we live in a universe in which every piece is interconnected with each other. Every molecule flows into all of the others. It's one big, amazing, tremendous, beautiful, power, dramatically fragile in terms of human life thing. Right? We need to be able to see that. To say God is king, to see the grandeur, to be able to stand at the coronation is to remind us of that. It's one thing. It's one great, dramatic, beautiful, powerful moment. And we're very, very lucky actually at TBZ that there's more than one mode of shofar blowing that happens. And I find it the easiest to connect to that image when Kim and her kids are blowing shofar, when there are multiple shofarot, right? When it sounds like a fanfare, right? Like there's all of these sounds coming out. You say, everything, sound, coming together, harmony, disharmony, ooh, right? Right? That's one thing to listen for. One thing to listen for is that kind of kingdom. It's all the universe we live in is one place. The other one, which is also a kind of kingdom thing, is easier for me when we're hearing the sound of one shofar. It's a very simple act of making, you usually think about kings and kingdom as all the, finery and the crowns and but there's a very simple act, which is to go and say, can you help me? To say, everything in my life I come to you for. In my places of pain, in places of my loneliness, in my places of joy, in my places of success. Right? The relationship with that God from the previous listening, right? It's not in the abstract. Right? We don't live in universes. We live in life. We live with people. We live with people we love who are in pain. We live and have needs. To be able to come, to bring God into those places and to say, I need you. Right? We have something of a complicated relationship with asking for things in prayer because, we don't really believe. Is it going to be given? Is it useful? All of that. But forget about the answering. The capacity to say, I live my life in relationship with that God, in relationship with that oneness. I can bring everything I need, all my sorrow, all my pain, I can bring into God's presence. Right? That's the other thing to listen for. The sound of the shofar that goes out, that's internal, that I don't have words anymore, that's whole and broken and whole, like of Claudia explained yesterday. It's also a different kind of making God a king. He's coming with everything I need and all I have to ask. And the third thing to listen for, the third kind of sound that comes out of the shofar, is when I realize that I'm not coming to God to ask for things because I think God is going to supply me with everything I need. I mean, even at the best, if I did believe that God was going to do that, which I don't, then that just means I'm using God. You know, my local person in the supermarket is not good enough, so I need a divine one that can provide everything for me. But there comes a point where I understand that I need to be able to bring my need, my pain, my longing to God in order to be really present in the relationship. Because at some point, you know, when you really, really love somebody and you want to be with them and you're with them, it's not because of something you're going to get out of that. It's I just want to be there. And even in the being is a longing so deep that the being together with you enhances it and raises it. That longing, the longing that doesn't want anything, just being in the presence of the divine in the universe, not getting anything out of it, not making my life better, not making the world better. Right? Those are two big directions of teshuvah, of repentance. Right? One is learning what are the ways in which I need to make myself and the world better. And the other is, how do I see that everything that is as it is? And there is no getting better. Being here now, I have one lifetime. From the moment I was born to the moment I was died. Tiny little in the context of eternity. In the context of human existence. I'm going to be here 60, 70, 80 years, no more than that.
Hello.
This is it. This is God's presence. Everything in this moment. That's my place of longing. That's the calling out. That's why it doesn't have words. It's not about this or that or the other thing. Just being in God's presence. Those are three things to listen for in the shofar. We're continuing on page 44.
If you have the honor of holding the Sifrei Torah, please come forward. I invite you to rise as you are able. I invite all the children to come to the middle. We want you close by. Come here to hear the call of the shofar.
Min ha-meitzar karatiya anani b'merchav yam.
Min ha-metzar karatiya anani b'merchav yam.
Koli shamata al talem oznecha לרווחתי, לשוועתי.
כולי שמעת, אל תאטם אוזנך, חטאתי לשוועתי.
ראש דברך אמת, ולעולם כל משפט צדקך.
ראש דברך אמת, ולעולם כל משפט צדקך.
הרוב עבדך לטוב, אל ישקוני זדים.
הרוב עבדך לטוב, אל ישקוני זדים.
שש אנוכי על אמרתך, כמוצא שלל רע.
שש אנוכי על אמרתך, כמוצא שלל רב.
טוב טעם ודעת למדני, כי במצוותיך האמנתי.
טוב טעם ודעת למדני, כי במצוותיך האמנתי.
נדבות פי רצנה אדוני, ומשפטיך למדני.
נדבות פי רצנה אדוני, ומשפטיך למדני.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו, וציוונו לשמוע קול שופר. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
תקיע. שברים תרועה. תקיע. תקיע. שברים תרועה. תקיע. תקיע. שברים תרועה. תקיע. תקיע. שברים. תקיע. תקיע. Shvarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shvarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. No, sorry. No. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. תקיעה גדולה.
אשרי העם יודע תרועה אדוני באור פניך יהלכון בשמך יגילון כל היום בצדקתך ירומו כי תפארת אתה וברצונך תרום כננו